Boop. Hello everybody, my name is Tori and welcome back to more Control, the game that follows Alan Wake somewhat in continuity. And already, after having played it for about 5 hours, I think the last stream was, something like that, immediately noticeable that this game does seem to be a hell of a lot more polished. And it also immediately kind of taps into all the weird, what I'm just going to call the weird wacky stuff, the whimsical wacky, the whimsy that Alan Wake had near the DLC and near the end of the game. This game just kind of immediately starts off with, which is interesting. It's a really weird game. We walk into this government building that nobody's ever heard of. We go around a sort of infinite looping hallway, and immediately a guy shoots himself. We pick up the gun, which is a weird space gun, and then we're the director, who, not the one who shot himself, but we're the follow-up director because we picked up the gun. And now everyone kind of listens to us. And also we're going around destroying this stuff called the Hiss, but it's like a weird alien fog, I guess. So far, the only thing I could note is that it is kind of weird that it's like otherworldly, extra-dimensional being that controls us, or something like that.
He has risen, baby
Welcome to
girl.
Metal Gear. Only seems to sound like humanoids. It's all like humanoids possessed by the Hiss and stuff like that. And all I'm saying is that if this is Lovecraftian stuff, the one thing it's missing is more limbs on things. But hey, maybe, you know, the further we go, the more we'll discover. It definitely follows the sort of the logic of like something like easiest to say is like SCP containment, where it's this weird organization that keeps track of all these supernatural, super something phenomena, paranatural phenomena, and they keep tabs on it, and you'll have weird stuff like, oh my god, this is a phone and it contacts the dead. Ooh. Or you have a little light switch that if you pull it you get teleported to random places, or I don't know, you probably have like a fridge and you open it up and your butt's full of potatoes. I don't fucking, like, weird stuff happens in this game. Okay, we're here to stop it, find our brother, save people, something like that, in a sort of weird very kind of fun cover shooter, as in it's a cover shooter where you don't really have to take cover, you just kind of shoot everything around you, and it's about, like, you know, positioning and maneuvering and that kind of stuff. And so it leads a lot of the game so far to be kind of this weird, how to put it, it's weird, but I'm having fun. You might notice the camera looks a little bit different. You might be like, hey, this place looks a little bit darker, and it's because I'm not using the actual regular light that I tend to use during stream, because that thing warms up and then this place warms up, and there's like a heat wave going on, and we found a way to make the air conditioning actually work in the other room. So we're gonna try and, like, how to put it, limit the amount of not only noise, let's turn that one off underneath me, but also just limit the amount of stuff that creates warmth. Like, the computer will be making warmth. Let's try not have everything else melt my brain off, right? Lurking, no problem, hello, but thank you so much for the lurk. YouTube's current bitrate. What do you mean YouTube's current bitrate is higher? Not supposed to be that high. What the fuck? The streaming is not doing the correct thing. I'm gonna have to restart the YouTube stream very quickly. Give me a sec. Oop. Okay, now it should be back. Let's give it a second. It's weird. The data was saying that, like, the stream was receiving way too much data, and it's like, that makes no sense because I'm only sending you about like 8K of bits. So whatever it thinks it was using is not what it was using, but whatever, let's ignore that for now. Anyway, with that sort of pre-ramble out of the way, I got this Desperado Tropical. It's a tropical flavored beer, and it's 5.9%. It was put in the fridge yesterday by my lobe. I put a little lime piece in it, and it's really tasty. That's all I have to say of it. It's a warm day, so it perfectly fits in the sort of like warm day mode, you know. Anyway, with that said, let's hop on over into the game and continue where we left off, which is somewhere. I also, by the way, no, big point, I also fixed the weird texture problem I was having, namely that, like, yes, the Hiss attacked the power plant, whatever. I had this weird issue where, like, the detailed textures on the walls and stuff like that, and on the floor and on other things would over time become blurrier and blurrier. This had to do with the fact that for some reason or another, the bitmaps, no, how to put it. So textures in a lot of games nowadays have something called bitmaps. Bitmaps meaning that you have a texture in its original high quality, and well, since usually they're at an exponent of 2, you can reduce the quality of a texture the smaller it is or whatever, right? In layman's terms, the idea is if a pixel on a texture is further away from the camera, well, does that pixel have to be rendered at full quality, yes or no? Probably not. So what you'll do is you'll have this sort of interplay between textures loading in from a distance, and the closer they get, the higher quality they get. And if you have that revolving door working totally properly, for one, it saves a bit on texture space in VRAM, and for 2, it also makes the game overall look higher quality at all times, right? And that's pretty cool. I just kicked something accidentally down below me, okay? However, a slight problem that this game for some reason had is that it didn't seem to empty that cache for it enough, or like it wasn't really swapping out textures, old textures for new textures. And what would end up happening is that the game seemingly like was constantly just loading in textures, but after a while, if that, imagine a bucket, you're filling a bucket with water, right? Imagine your bucket is full and you're just pouring more water on top, but your bucket's already full. What happens to the excess water? It kind of goes out, right? In a sort of similar way, what was happening was that every object I was encountering was always very low resolution. Like everything was always very low res, very blurry looking, very kind of shitty looking. And the only thing that seemed to refresh the cache for me, at least, was to like purposely go into in the menu and like tweak buttons, right? Like reset the LOD system, which for some reason cleared out the bitmap, whatever the fuck. So I went online yesterday after the stream to check out, hey, is this just like a general issue, or is this an issue I'm having with my graphics card or anything? And no, it seems control, like the first thing immediately was like a few forum threads around like, yeah, this game has some problems with textures and stuff like that. And the fix for it seemed to be pretty easy. It was 2 mods where I just had to drag DLL files into a folder into another folder. Drag a DLL file into the game folder, start up the game, close the game. Then a data folder appears, drag a global data folder into that folder, open that up, then open it with Notepad, paste a bunch of text, save that, and that was it. And what that essentially does is just, I guess, indicate when it has to clear the bitmap, like when it has to clear the internal resolution or something like that. And so then it all just kind of seems to function. YouTube seems to be having some issues though. Oh no, the YouTube stream is fucking again. Oh no. Oh no, I see a very like slow motion me talking there. Resolution or something like that. Oh my god. Okay, wait. Quick. Is Twitch's one fucking up? Let's just wave my hand and then I'll see if it works immediately, yes or no. Oh no, Twitch just works. YouTube is fucking up. Okay, YouTube I'll fix. Yes, that was the issue then. What's up, Director Tori? Welcome in, Phoenix. Okay, let's see now if it works on YouTube. Or if it's still in slow motion for some fucking reason. God, I hate YouTube's streaming problem bullshit thing. What the it's yeah, it's still fucking up. God damn it. What's up is that